Well, tonight we have this breaking news story. Serious allegations made against the minister responsible for social services. He joins us live tonight, outright denying these claims. Minister, you want to respond to those allegations?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. Earlier today, I was tagged in one of the social media groups with some photos and allegations of child abuse as it relates to my grandson. When asked to respond, I have nothing to hide, and I'll just tell the story as it is. Mm-hmm. My grandson was born with Down syndrome. He's been a fighter. Anybody knows kids with Down syndrome, they have various other complications. As a matter of fact, he received treatment. He was taken to the States for treatment, heart condition, lung conditions, and other conditions. He's a true soldier. I was made aware that he had an infection in one of his eyes that spread to the other. He was taken to the Blue Hill Road Clinic and then was recommended for him to go to Princess Margaret Hospital for treatment. I asked my son and his girlfriend, what is the story, because there's a disturbing story out there.
Yes, sir.
And I was apprised of that information. The part about me turning a blind eye, I invite the police, I invite the Department of Social Services, none of those departments I've had any contact with at all, to go and do their investigation. As far as I've been advised by my son and his girlfriend, that none of the mentioned departments, the police nor social services, had contacted them. As a matter of fact, when he became aware of these images, he then made contact to find out how did these images get out there. Now, he could speak to that. Where I have concern is that he's a twin, actually. The mother reached out to me about, I think it's sometime last year, to say, she sent me an image and said that the children, in particular, the two kids were being abused. One of them said that he looked malnourished. And I said to her, I said, I hear you. I said, I have seen those kids. I see them all the time, because they were sent back to the Bahamas in 2021. The support for those children have come from my son and his girlfriend, and from me. As a matter of fact, my granddaughter's birthday was yesterday, and I was communicating with them. I told him that I told her, the children's mother, that I would have a word with him because these were serious allegations. And I brought the concern. I said, the mother is saying that the children is being mistreated. They are serious allegations. Let me know what the story is. And he said to me, Daddy, you see these kids? You see them?
Yes. They
come to my house. I go to them. So this ain't a relationship where I could speak from a position where I don't know. Right. I think what is disheartening and discouraging is a toxic relationship went bad. And now individuals are being brought into for different reasons. Political reasons, one, and then reasons between relationship that went off. I could say this in the past 3.5, when he came back, I think they were 4 going on 5. Have lived with my son and his girlfriend since. The grandmother is here, is a nurse, and no issue have been raised by the grandmother to me, who also have my contact. We have spoke briefly in the past during another situation that has transpired. And so here is a young kid, 8 years old, fighting for his life, because every few months he's in hospital. If you check his arms, burned from drips and other complications, he's afraid of needles, but he's always raised to be independent. And I tell the stories that disabilities events that social services hosts. He's a fighter.
Yes.
You know, he know how to, hey, Grumpy, how you doing? We dap, we talk. He's petrified of needles, but other than that, he could tell you when he wants to use the bathroom. He could tell you when he wants to sleep. He gets agitated because, you know, they're regimented. But now he becomes a topic that could be easily verified. And as I said earlier, I invite the police, I invite the Department of Social Services, go in, review the matter. The findings are there for all. There will be no tampering, no intervention on my behalf. I have not spoken to anybody in social services. I've not spoken to anybody from the police force. If the hospital or the clinic had suspected that this was an abuse case, surely they would have interviewed the parents.
Definitely.
Now, he was in from last week, Friday. It's now Wednesday. To this point, I'm advised by his father that there have been no discussions with regards to abuse of the child.
Yes, sir, Minister. What were your initial thoughts? You said these allegations actually made the rounds on social media. What were your thoughts when you saw this? And do you think this was just a futile attempt, I guess, to taint your reputation? Why were these allegations made?
I could say what it is. There is a personality on social media who reached out to me and said that, well, two, and said to me that, Minister, I just want you to know that it's out there. I was contacted to put you on blast, quoting that individual. Wow. I just wanted you to know. And I said, I know that he had some kind of infection, but I didn't see the photos. I mean, the photos are very, very disturbing. When I spoke to my son, he's saying that the swellings, as a matter of fact, the condition that he is in now actually happened at the hospital. Yes. Originally, there are photos that exist of his condition that were taken before he was taken to the clinic or before he was taken to PMH. What I'm advised by my son that happened is that his eyes closed down and they have to literally open the eyes to put the medication in it.
Yes, sir.
And so, again, the information will be there. I am confident as from what I know, the police or social services or any agency that are going to intervene to review the matter, I'm good knowing that, one, as a grandfather, and anybody who know me, know that this particular grandson I mention more than all because he has been born with a condition that will affect him for the rest of his life. Yes. And so I encourage others in the disabilities community not to hide theirs. And I try to tell them, especially in the Family Islands, that, these kids, they have a lot of love to give.
Yes, sir.
And I lead by example when it comes to that particular one, because he is the vulnerable one out of the twins. And so that's where the soft spot comes in. And anybody who would have attended any of my disabilities meeting, they will know by name that I call them, and I put this story out there to encourage others to treat kids with disabilities with love and respect because they have so much. And the only time he'll cry is if he's getting a needle. And so when I see this, I'm like, wow, here you are, you decide that, okay, your relationship has gone toxic. You're going to put your baby father on blast. And, oh yeah, we could have a double whammy by just throwing the grandfather in there as if he is this person who knows what is going on and just has turned a blind eye to it. And I vehemently deny that. That is utterly false.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for actually joining us on the broadcast. And we certainly hope that, we know you take those allegations very seriously, and we hope that you get that situation rectitive.
I'm sure. I encourage all of the agencies to just do their work. And I'm sure from what I am advised that has happened, that, you know, the truth will come out.
Yes, sir.
And that it's gruesome photos, but it is from from a biological origin that I have been advised. And in the 3.5+ years that those boys have been with my son, I have not seen or heard anything credible, and I see them quite often, to suggest abuse is involved. And he could defend himself and the facts, what has happened, how we get to this point. But from being the Minister of Social Services,
yes, sir,
I will never use my position to sweep under the rug, per se, very serious allegation, knowing the position that I have in this country and knowing that the relationship that I have with that particular grandchild of mine, that I will never be in a position to see harm coming. And anyone who knows me know, including my son, I'm a straight shooter.
Yes, sir.
If I believe that those kids were in any way in harm's way, I would be the first one to say, look here, send the kids to their Grammy who brought those children to my son. And in the past 3.5 years, apart from talks of I want my kids back, if you have this concern, you could go to the police. You could go to social services and say, listen, yeah, this child is in an abusive situation. You could go to the Stapleton School where he attends. Exactly. You could speak to the teachers and the principal there. Ask them if they've seen anything that would suggest that he is being abused.
Thank you, Minister. Well, we're just out of time now, but that concludes The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. My name is Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight comes your way next.